Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Naaman with the DC camp. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Dash. Of course, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders, great millstone. Salutations to the other Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, all honesty and sincerity across the four corners of the globe. All right. So, what we have here, this is from MSN.com, and it comes, well, it's talking about this raggedy old, well, you can look at her, you can tell, this Khazar bitch. All right. Anyway, so you see what appears to be a Moabite here. It says, let's see. Anyway, it says students at the University of Pennsylvania Carey Law School are calling for the suspension of a law professor, once again, right here. All right. Who they say has repeatedly expressed racist beliefs about so-called black and Asian. I don't know, she might be Ammonite. Anyway, looks more like a Moabite. Anyway, as descendants of enslaved ancestors, immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, and persons holding multiple identities among these, we reject Amy Wax's hateful rhetoric that we in our communities are dangerous, inferior, do not belong, have made fewer contributions, and are inherently less able to utilize a law because of our skin colors or heritage, their statement read. All right? And this is a common thing, and this is nothing more than distraction. All right? Because believe me, the truth is hurting these, especially these motherfuckers here. All right? And what I just read, I mean, that could be another video in and of itself, because also, too, with us out there on the highways and byways, where amongst our we read 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, and 5, we're tearing down these illusions and things, these lies, all right, that this devil has set up over the decades and centuries. All right, we're breaking all that down. All right, like I say, that's another video in itself. But one such thing we're breaking down is the lies about who the people are, the nations. All right, and hey, guess who it hurts? Yeah, this dried up, hurt people. This thing right there. Continuing on, it says on Fox News, Tucker Carlson today, earlier this month, Wax spoke about her views against people criticizing racism in America. All right, as if, and this is another, again, a whole nother video, the one I'll do probably after this. Hey, this critical race theory, it's not a theory. It's telling you what you've done, but here's the thing. They didn't want these things to surface. They thought they got away with it, and that's not the case. And we are going to remind you, because me personally, I don't give a fuck about your fragile mental state. You didn't give a fuck about ours. All the centuries of calling our kids, hell, all of us, as a matter of fact, derogatory names. What do you think that did to us? What do you think that did to our mental state, our sense of well-being? So, fuck you. All right? It says, she goes on to say, this is a comment, there is just a tremendous amount of resentment and shame of non-Western peoples against Western peoples for Western peoples' outsized achievements and contributions. Here's the thing, you piece of shit. You've done nothing, absolutely nothing, without these people, specifically the people that you brought over here. All right? You've stolen everything you've ever gotten. You've only attained it through lies and deceits, rape, robbery, murder. You're a piece of shit. And the world will be better without you. Continuing on, it says, later in the show, Wax disparaged Indian Americans who criticize the United States. They climb the ladder, they get the best education, we give them every opportunity, and they turn around and lead the charge on we're racist, we're an awful country. On some level, their country is a shithole. She's talking about East Indians, she's talking about Elam. And if anybody has been paying attention, there was a video circulating, who was it? I know it's on Gravitas, you can see it. Um, damn it. There was a panel, and this East Indian was going in on these devils, all right, because they're asking the Elamite, what is your country doing? And he was saying, like, this is your fucking war. We ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't drag us into this shit, because people are tired, all right, especially just the last 20 years. They start to see through the bullshit, all right. It's these motherfuckers right here that are causing all this shit. And I don't know if this was a man. I don't, fuck it, whatever. Anyway, continuing on, it says students from the National Black Law Students Association, the National Asian Pacific American Law Student Association, and the North American South Asian Law Students Association released a joint letter on Wednesday calling for accountability. This is her, law professor Amy Wax. Now let's go in, I looked her up, let's go in there. Amy Wax, born 1953, American lawyer, neurologist, so she's a medical doctor, all right? In academics, she is the Robert Mondheim, there you go, one of her own, professor of law at the University of Pennsylvania Law School. Her work addresses issue in social welfare law and policy, as well as the relationship of the family, the workplace, and labor markets, all of which they really got us good as a people because we're fucked up in all three of those, all right? She has often made, well, of course, and they're responsible for that. She has often made white supremacist and racist remarks about non-white people. Now let's see her background. All right, let's see. She got an education, Yale University, Bachelor of Science, Somerville College, Oxford. Oh, she studied at England. Oh, she got a philosophy degree there. She got Harvard University, so she went to Harvard. So all of these are Ivory colleges. Columbia, Juris Doctor. She got a medical degree at Harvard. Early life, let's go in there. Was born and raised with her two sisters in a Jewish household in Troy, New York. She's an Amalekite, like I said. She's an Edomite. Her tribe is Amalek, where she attended public schools. Her father worked in the garment industry, and her mother was a teacher and administrator in the government in Albany, New York. Wow. So she got all this education. I mean, went to the best schools in the world, bar none. And she's a piece of shit. Get a load of that. Get a load of that. This is this thing here. Goes on to say, few understand how much more burdensome law school is for students who continuously receive the message that they are less than or do not belong, the joint letter read. Penn Law must do more to protect these law students and reject Wax's odious rhetoric. The students are demanding that the school suspend Wax while investigating her employment and conduct in accordance with behavioral conduct and grading policy. They're not going to do nothing to this woman. Man, they're also demanding that the school provides transparency into its tenure requirements and behavioral conduct proceedings, as well as provide alternative professors to teach Wax's courses. Exactly. She's got tenure. It's very hard to get somebody that's got tenure, all right, out of there. In a 2017 lecture, she said, I don't think I've ever seen a black student graduate in the top quarter of a Penn Law class, and rarely in the top half, which the school's dean debunked, according to the joint letter. The university at the time barred Wax from teaching required courses and assigned her to elective courses only, the letter said. In 2019, Wax said the U.S. would be better off with more whites and fewer non-whites at a conference in Washington, D.C., according to a statement from Theodore Ruger, the dean of the law school, denouncing the comments. See, this is what Jake does not understand. These are the same motherfuckers that some of you want to go over there and defend in Ukraine. These are the motherfuckers that were pushed up into that region in ancient times because of their ways. All right? And then they migrated west, all right, and took over those regions that were occupied by dark people. So these are those racist motherfuckers. When they warned people that were going over there to assist those pieces of shit in Ukraine, and they told them that, well, they might call you a nigger, a monkey, you know, just don't worry about that. No, fuck no. But some of you stupid motherfuckers went over there, so you get what you got. They had one, I don't know if he was a Hamite or what, but there was a video, damn it, I don't have it on hand, over there in Ukraine, and he ran up into the police station because they had some Nazis after him. And you know what they did? They threw his ass right outside in the midst of it. Nobody has seen or heard neither hide nor hair from him. Ain't that some fucked up shit? Alright. Oh, let's see. What else? Yeah, this is... Remember what the scriptures say, you know, you're going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. These are those motherfuckers that profess to be us. Alright, they've established a criminal organization, alright, using our nationality as a cover, as a cloak, more or less. Alright, and that allows them to get into everything and anything. And when they get found out, they get in trouble, they just say, oh, you're anti this, you're anti that. And the word doesn't even exist. Alright, talking about anti-Semite. Well, if that's the case, how many other Shemites, that's what they actually are there? Why are you the only ones ever offended? Alright. Go to Genesis 10th chapter, start at 21 and go down. Alright. Wow. People say that goes to prove that you don't read, and they've taken advantage, by and large, of people's ignorance. Of course, ultimately, this is the will of the Most High Yahweh. Alright. But they've gotten away with this lie for so long. Alright. Let's see what else I want to hear. This is the bulk of it. I mean, just showing you how much you, as a so-called African American, so-called black, all right, and this is also, I'm amazed because these people here know the game that's being played. So-called Asians, all right, they see through the shit, whereas a lot of Jake don't. All right, all this shit the last couple of years about Jake's attacking them, you know, and this is, again, people like this bitch right here, all right, again, trying to isolate us, all right, and pit more people against us, all right, but it didn't work like they wanted, so you better believe there's some more, they got some more shit that's getting ready to come down the pike. All right, number one, I found out, which there's another video I'm gonna do. Google right now is coming down on people for, depending on which words you use now. Like if you say housewife, you're gonna get a little pop-up, a little bubble that says, well, why don't you use another word? Because you got, the thing is, they're playing to these so-called sensitives. You know, instead of policeman, why don't you say police officer or some other dumb shit? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, you motherfuckers can't see what eventually is going to happen. We've been warning you about famine of the word and all this. All this is an end around in order to get to us, the men of the Lord. All right. This is what inevitably is, we are the target. This is an end around. All right, they can't come direct like they want, and they haven't been able to get the patsy like they want, so they can come down. All right, so they gotta use these sneaky, devilish tactics. All right, and eventually it's coming. It wouldn't be in the scriptures, you know, Amos 8 and 11. All right, it's gonna happen, and a lot of you that were scoffing and mocking, you're gonna come to regret. You're gonna come to rue today. Let's look at that word, rue. You're going to come to, this is rue. It says, bitterly regret something one has done or allowed to happen. All right, repentance, regret. Oh, you're going to regret. All right, what you did. Because you're going to be looking for us. I guarantee, like the late Comedian, Cajun comedian slash chef used to say. Anyway, so with that, yeah, hey, shalom.